Social media is moving so fast, faster and faster and faster every year. It's really hard for anyone to keep up. And I completely understand what that's like as I run a digital marketing agency. What we have discovered year after year is that there is generally between 3 and 5 things that you can do that really can push the needle forward in your business and make sure that you're making impression, getting more customers, getting more clients, and growing your social media presence. The first and the most important thing that I can recommend that your small business can do is build an email list. It is something that we've always recommended, and year after year after year, we see more reason why small businesses should have this as a #1 priority for you and your marketing. And it's also to protect your business in social media, digital marketing, everything electronic. Because let's remember, in social media, you're essentially building a garden in someone else's backyard. So on all the social media platforms, you don't own any of that intel. You don't own your content, you don't own any of the direct messages, you don't own any of the followers, and they can be gone just like that. You can be hacked, you can be locked out, you can have admin issues in Business Manager. Don't even get me started about that. You can be just shut down. Instagram proved last year that even they can lose service for 2 days. I know it was only 2 days, but for a lot of companies that can be really, really important. We had people that were going through massive sales at that time, and it completely shut down their sales funnel for 2 whole days, which is not ideal, obviously. So I think in terms of building an email list, this is a protective net that you can have over your audience. So encouraging all your social media followers to join an email list that you send out special deals or things that they won't see on social media, and develop that relationship with them through their email account will ensure that they're going to be clients for a long time, and it doesn't matter what happens on social media. If the worst should happen, some accounts we've seen from businesses coming to us with an SOS have just been completely shut down for no reason at all. We all know what it's like trying to get in touch with someone from Instagram or Facebook. It's near on impossible. Even for an agency, just to get someone to help you unravel issues, technical issues, shut down accounts and Business Manager is incredibly hard. So I cannot even imagine what it's like to do it as a small business owner. So building that email list should be on the top of your priority for 2023. It should be top of your priority for every year, quite frankly. Set up a MailChimp account or a Campaign Monitor account and just start sending emails to introduce yourself to your audience and let them know when you've got a sale coming up, or let them know when you've got a webinar going on, or let them know when you've found out something cool in your industry or innovative or new. And also you're developing and curating something that you own and you control. And people can opt out and people can opt in, that's their choice, but it will be your real estate and something that you can control and you can own. And should you be locked out of social media accounts, you can just activate that email list to either A, direct them to some other social media platform, or if you do have to start up a new social media account, at least you've got that foundation to start from and you're not starting from absolute hit bottom zero, which is the worst. The second thing that I recommend that you do in 2023 to really lift your business in social media is optimize your social media profiles so they are designed to attract your perfect customer and get more sales. That means going through your bio, it should only take 30 minutes per platform, but you only need to do it once a year or once every 6 months if you're really diligent. Go through and really checklist everything in your Instagram bio, in your Facebook page profile, in your LinkedIn profile, and your TikTok account if that's where you live. Make sure that everything on there is optimized so that you can attract the right customers, so you can get them to purchase your goods or be interested in your service, or if you're a content creator, just to see your stuff. I'll be breaking down in a lot more detail in some future videos about how you can optimize for Instagram, for Facebook, optimize for LinkedIn, and optimize for TikTok. But I'm just going to give you a really quick thing that you can do just to go through and make sure that everything is working in there as it should. So if you're a small business, making sure that what your name is and what your username is and what your profile picture is the same, or at least very close, on every single platform. Don't have different names or different variations depending on which platform. Try to get that as close to your business name as possible. If you have to make it slightly different, maybe add your location into it. Dark Horse Agency, which is my agency here in Perth, was taken on Instagram, so I called it Dark Horse Perth. But it's really going to be easy for my customers to recognise who I am and that they've gone to the right place, because my logo is very easy to read, it's very clear, and it's exactly the same on each platform. The only time we recommend having personal photos of yourself if you are a business is if you are the business. So if you're a public speaker, if you're a consultant, if you are a content creator, then having your face there makes sense. Please make sure it's high quality in a light room, and if possible, professionally taken. The iPhones are so great these days. You can take a really great picture, just remove the background easily in programs like Canva. Boom, Bob's your uncle, there's your profile picture. But just make sure it is the same on each and every platform that you're on, so that people know that they've got the right spot. You're the right person, you're exactly what they need, and that's how they can buy things easily from you. And make sure you use every feature on that bio. So for example, on Instagram, there is an opportunity to put a website link in there. There is an opportunity to put a contact form in there. There is an opportunity to use the shop icon as well. So if you're selling products and services that can easily be sold through a digital platform, you should be using those shops. And the final thing about making sure that you've optimized that bio space is thinking about your customer's journey. So when they leave that social media platform, they get to your website is fast loading. It is exactly the page that you said that they would arrive on in your social media accounts. So I don't know about you, but I get really, really confused really easily when a link sends me somewhere and it's not necessarily where I anticipate I thought I was going. So for example, I was shopping on Instagram the other day, perfect customer for anyone out there. I clicked on the link and I went to their homepage, which had a whole lot of their story and who they were, and that's great. It's great to have that on a website, but for a moment, I'd forgotten why I'd clicked that link. And I was like, I don't know why I'm here. And all of a sudden, you've lost that customer, because everyone is really impatient in the social media space. So when you don't take someone to where they expect to be, then you potentially lose them. So that's just really easy to optimize your bio. Make sure you're very clear on who you are, what you do, what you sell, and how people can buy it from you. Make sure all your branding is consistent, and also make sure that customer journey when they leave the app is slick. The third thing I highly recommend you do this year to push your business further on social media, and it's also a protective mechanism, is diversify the platforms that you're on. We find so many people are on one, and if they do branch out to two, it's Facebook and Instagram. That's the same backyard. They're owned by the same person. So if something should happen to that company or that brand, then they're both going to be impacted potentially. So we do recommend that you go on 3 platforms. And I know probably 50% of the people out there have just fainted, or are at least having a panic attack right now, because I know it sounds really hard to be on 3 platforms, but stay with me. I'm going to show you how you can easily be 3 and 4 and potentially more without having to increase your efforts. So not only is it a really good precautionary measure, because we all know being on one account is really, really dangerous, and the over-emphasis on focusing on Instagram right now is freaking us all out in our agency. We see so many small businesses just putting all of their dollary dues, all their effort, all their time into just growing Instagram, and it is incredibly dangerous. Don't do that. Make sure that you're on multiple platforms to protect yourself. It's just spreading those eggs out into a few different baskets. So when considering what platforms you need to go onto, in addition to the ones you already have, how do you choose which one you should additionally go onto? Well, I have 2 things that you need to consider. The first and most important is to think about where your audience is hanging out. I know it seems really obvious, but you've got to find out where your target audience for your business is hanging out. Either ask them a survey, do a giveaway, tell us your top 3 social media platforms. Where do you spend your most time? So if you run a professional development consultancy business and you're on Facebook and you're on LinkedIn and you happen to service mostly women who are between the ages of say 20 and 40 in their professional journey, and you want to upskill them in making better professional decisions, then I would suggest that that audience segment women between the ages of 20 and 40 are mostly on Instagram. Then that's a great idea, but also looking at what trends are, looking where people are hanging out is really important to figure out, because remember, you're developing content on social media so that you can attract the right audience. And if you're in the place where they're hanging out the most, you've got a greater possibility. Fishing in a pond where there's lots of fish is definitely a better idea than fishing in a pond with no fish. The second really important consideration is how can you make and repurpose the content you're already doing to another platform? How can you easily slip it from LinkedIn articles and blog articles to an email newsletter? So a reel can be uploaded as a TikTok. It can be uploaded as a YouTube short. So that's two other platforms that one piece of content that you're already developing can be reused and repurposed really effectively. We do get asked the question a lot, but won't people get bored seeing the same content across multiple platforms? No, the chances of someone seeing your same content on multiple channels is very, very, very slim. And also there's different audiences that hang out in different platforms. So you maybe are attracting and getting your content in front of people that just would never ever see it in Instagram because they're just simply not there. You're just making sure that content stacks into another social media platforms. And that brings me to another really important strategy you can use in 2023 to lift your business's profile, its brand awareness, its visibility and sales on social media. And that is content stacking, so that you can reuse content or repurpose content, just cookie cut it out and move to different platforms to save yourself effort, to save yourself time, and to really amplify what you're doing on social media. I often joke that social media is somewhat similar to a Harry Potter Dementor, where it sucks the life, the happiness, the joy, and the soul from everything around it, leaving us like an empty shell. And that honestly is what small businesses feel like. It's what certainly I feel like as a small business. And we run many, many social media accounts for many businesses. So we have an office oftentimes full of Dementors. So maybe I should get outfits for everyone. That's a really good idea. So content stacking works in two ways. You can either, with that long form piece of content, use it on your website as a blog post, send it out as an EDM, as an email newsletter, put it on LinkedIn as a LinkedIn article. You can put it on Facebook. So that's one way you can use that piece of content in multiple ways. Again, with another long form piece of content, a video, that can be used as a YouTube video. It can be also used as a long form video on Facebook. It can also be used as a video on your website. Another form of content stacking is taking that long form piece of content and break it down into smaller portions which will work on multiple platforms. So you can take that article, snip it up into smaller pieces to make Instagram posts. Keep that long form video, but then chop it up into smaller ideas and repurpose it as reels. Those reels can then be repurposed as TikToks or as YouTube shorts, and make it screenshots with just little title tiles to be ideas and quotes that you put on Twitter. I'm going to show you exactly how I break down content in a future video, so you'll have to subscribe to see those ones. So they were my top 4 strategies for lifting your social media and digital marketing for your small business in 2023. I'd really love to know if you're going to use any of these strategies, and if you have any questions at all about my recommendations, whether that's building an email list, optimizing your bio for sales and leads, whether it's diversifying your platforms, or even about content stacking, which is a little boggling to get your head around, but once you've got it, you will fly and you will develop so much content. I'll be releasing a video every week and showing small businesses how they can elevate their social media to get more sales, leads, and followers. I'll also be sharing my journey as a small business and as a marketing agency, and how the tips and tricks of running an agency and running a business with staff. And I'll also be sharing my thoughts and ideas and learnings about kids and social media. I have 2 boys, so I'll be sharing much more about my journey in that space and their journey in social media as well. So please subscribe and follow me for more. Multiple pieces of content for multiple different platforms. Try saying that 5 times really fast. Multiple. It's kind of how your brain does it when you're trying to do all this content for social media.